Dark Souls is one of those games which makes you think. Things like, should I consume this life gem? Or about pain, a lot of pain. But is it about this transgender I keep hearing about online? From what I've heard, trans people started existing in 2016. This is the same time women with red hair, pronouns, nouns and verbs started existing. Coincidentally, at the same time, I started going to school. When you start up your character in Dark Souls 2, you get to customize them. You get to choose a class, their own focusing on attack, defense, magic and pain. A lot of pain. But that's not what's important. Important is that you can customize their face. And oh boy, hormones. If you get into the advanced section, you get to customize the hormones of your character. So yes, you can actually be a non-binary fanboy on HRT in Dark Souls 2. I'm genuinely curious what this guy's reaction would be if he actually played games.
Gender ambiguity!
But it's not all. When you end the character creation process, there is a tomb that you can unlock only after unpetrifying this dude and going through several spooky eye boys. After defeating several transphobic Russian trolls, you get to use the tomb. And that's very interesting. Sadly, there is no tomb that makes you black or Chinese. Originally, this tomb was intended as a hotfix to a series of bugs that could have switched your gender from female to male. If you wanted, you could have just climbed into this tomb to reverse the changes. It's a creative solution to a bug, and yet it also implies a deep meaning. You're coming out of the coffin with your new identity. So this identity could be destroyed by fucking Smelter Demon. I fucking hate Smelter Demon! There is a theory that this coffin was made to make queens into kings, to give them a patriarchal role instead of a matriarchal one. This is a story about kings, not queens, which reflects several medieval values this cyclical world contains. The same coffin is in the DLC location Elium Lois. It doesn't do anything similar. It just transports you to hell. That is the boss runway, which fucking sucks. Maybe it's an allegory. Most NPCs in here have British or Scottish accents, so maybe it's just a creative way to express how shitty the British trans healthcare is. I fucking hate Smelter Demon. When it comes to the original tomb, when you climb into it, the game doesn't tell you how much time you spend in it. Theoretically, the enchanted tomb could be giving you time to reconsider your identity and who you are. Identity and memories play a huge role in Dark Souls 2 overall. The world of Dark Souls 2 is a cyclical hellhole, where kingdoms rise, fall and get forgotten repeatedly, on the same spot. After dying, your character becomes hollow. They look worse, they have less HP, and the more they die, the worse it becomes. The change is not just anatomical, it is also mental. Hollow people forget who they are, what they wanted to be, and essentially lose their humanity. Most human enemies you fight are hollow, shells of what they were. The way to restore a character's humanity is by using a human effigy. Get this, the human effigy is described as a mini statue of your perfect self. It restores your humanity. Can you not see the relevance? Trans people usually collect several images and representations of how their perfect self would look like. It hits very close to what this is, but with humanity instead of gender, though they are related. Dark Souls 2 is a game about how cyclical the world is when you forget what was in the past. You do things again and again until you forget. Trans people have existed before, however, some institutions have tried to destroy the memory of them. This is fascism. And when you see some people claiming that trans people have never existed before, it is visible that fascism tries to make the world cyclical. Well, Dark Souls 2 is not exactly about fascism or trans people. Thematically, it hits close. Not only that, today is my birthday. I am very thankful to all of my subscribers at Torhan for motivating me to edit for the main channel. Thank you Rizak for donating $20 and Marzala for 6. Objectively, this video would have not existed without all of you. And yes, as I promised, I have found a pony image that will grant me several wishes. This one. The artist actually did a lot of My Little Pony Dark Souls stuff. Like, 5 years ago and more. Not sure where they are now. As for me, it is time for me to go. Have a nice day. Evil fucking jars that cackle at you like witches are actually social commentary on Joanne Rowling. Smell